for it. I did say it was a mistake. What I did was allowed by the State Department, but it wasn't the best choice. And I have been as transparent as I know to be, turning over 55,000 pages of my emails, asking that they be made public.
Let me say something that may not be great politics, but I think the Secretary is right. And that is that the American people are sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Me too. Me too.
A moment there, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton with a brief moment of togetherness when questioned about Clinton's ongoing email scandal. But that was about the only thing they agreed on in the first Democratic debate. And KU political science expert Ryan Salzman is here to tell us if any of the candidates helped or hurt themselves last night. Good morning.
Good morning.
That was quite the moment. Were you surprised by that? We've seen so much fighting it out as far as the Republicans go. That was kind of a togetherness episode.
It was very much a togetherness moment, and that kind of happened repeatedly throughout the debate. One thing that we know about Bernie Sanders is that he's prone to agree. He's not going to be very argumentative, and I think that's because he's confident in his own policy positions, and a lot of the other candidates probably share that confidence.
Big headline I've seen all around today, she's back. So what does that mean?
I think that's true as well. For the last 6 months, 9 months, 18 months, Hillary Clinton's really been taking it on the chin. And while she's been out on the campaign trail, she hasn't had the opportunity to look back into the camera and plead her case. And this was that moment for her, not only in terms of the emails, but also to assert, and while this is very obvious, but to remind people she's the female candidate. She's the viable female candidate in this, and that's going to be a big issue for her moving forward. So she took the opportunity not to redefine the race, but just to remind everybody why she had so much headwind back in 2008 and since then.
Well, she talked a lot of policy, seemed very confident. Clearly, what are the differences in policies when it comes to Sanders and Clinton?
Yeah, there are a couple really important differences. One of them, Bernie Sanders, of course, he's talked about as being a democratic socialist, and so we get wrapped up in a lot of these ideas revolving around socialism. But if we think about the policies that have come to fruition over the last 20 years, Senator Sanders has been, in hindsight, some might say, on the right side of those issues when the majority was not. Specifically, the Patriot Act. He was the only senator to vote against the Patriot Act. He reminded us of that a lot last night. He was against the Iraq War. He didn't think the evidence was there. Both of those issues, Senator Clinton was on the other side of those in a voting capacity. And then also the removal of the division, the way we break up the banks, or now allowing the banks to come together in the 1990s. And that some say led or contributed to the downfall in 2008 and 2009. Those are all issues that Senator Sanders was on a different side than Hillary Clinton was.
So he didn't necessarily do anything to hurt himself. She just kind of came back.
Absolutely. No, Senator Sanders did exactly what he needed to do. He didn't deviate from his script in the sense that he didn't become argumentative. But he was able to introduce himself. We always say that with debates. He was able to introduce himself to the public, and Hillary was able to come back. It really looks like a two-horse race right now.
Let's not forget about the three other men on stage. I'm sorry, I want to get to them before break.
Absolutely. So Martin O'Malley is going to probably stick around for a while. He looked really good. This is the former governor from Maryland. He had a very strong debate performance, I thought. Senator Webb and Mr. Chafee probably not going to be around for too much longer. Mr. Chafee in particular had a very bad performance, so it wouldn't surprise me over the next month or so to see this whittled down to a three-person race, and that's good because you want to have a three-person race rather than a two-person race.
You say three-person. We've yet to hear from Joe Biden, Vice President Joe Biden, whether or not he'll confirm. What are your thoughts?
That's a great point. You mentioning it right now, I hadn't thought about it last night. And I think that means that there's a lot of strong candidates on stage. I don't know if this performance would encourage or discourage him. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Another reason for me to come back and talk to you.
That's right. We look forward to it. Thank you so much, Ryan Salzman. We appreciate it. Good point there. There is still more ahead on Fox.